Hello and welcome to Pick a Card Pallas. In today's Pick a Card reading, we will be answering the question, what do they find attractive about you? For this reading, we have 9 options. This is option 1, this is option 2, option 3, option 4, option 5, option 6, option 7, option 8, and option 9. Once you've made your selection, you can scroll down to the description box where there will be links taking you directly to each of these separate readings. I'm going to let you look at the cards and the objects and make your selection before we get started. Okay, so if you chose this card and or this this object, little cassette tape, option 1, this will be your reading. So again, the question we're answering today is, what do they find attractive about you? So first impressions just from this card alone here is that they feel that you are a multi-talented individual. You have a lot of abilities and a lot of skills in different areas. Now, the name here, Chiron, refers to, I think they call it a planetoid at this point, but at some point maybe it was called an asteroid, and the astrological community decided to use it like they do many things in astronomy, not to be confused with astrology. But Chiron in astrology represents that part of us that is sensitive because we feel that we're different somehow, different from other people. And it's sort of a sticking point throughout life. It follows us. It doesn't necessarily show on the outside, but on the inside, we have this feeling of not quite being good enough and not really knowing how to become good enough. This is all coming from the Greek myth of Chiron. And Chiron in Greek mythology was the child of rape, I believe. And upon being born, his mother saw him and was repulsed and didn't want to raise him. So he went off to be raised by others. But the thing is that since he was the child of a god and a nymph, I believe it was, he was immortal. So he was able to go and be taken in, I believe it was the god Apollo. And if you're familiar with Greek myth surrounding Apollo, you know that Apollo is someone who is very skillful and very good at all kinds of communication. So Apollo took Chiron under his wing, and Chiron became very skillful in lots of different things as well. I get the sense that maybe Chiron worked hard because Chiron didn't feel good enough just from the beginning. Chiron felt rejected. And as sad as this story sounds, somehow your person finds this woundedness about you attractive. It could be that, and I'm going to assume here this is the case, who you're inquiring about here is someone who probably knows you pretty well, or else they wouldn't be aware of this thing that you feel not good about, not good enough because of. So if this is not your story, if this doesn't make any sense to you, please choose another option. And by the way, you can choose different piles for different people that you have in mind. I should have said that in the beginning. But anyway, yes, with Chiron, the good news is that it was kind of a happy ending with him. He grew up and he was very skillful and very sought out because of all of his skillfulness. And he married and had children, and it was a happy marriage from what the myths portray. So this is good, but the thing is that he carried with him throughout life this probable sadness, and yet that's not really what the focus of the myths are usually. Usually you'll hear about Chiron being referred to as the wounded healer. I'm sorry it's taking me a while to kind of collect my thoughts and get there. I should have started with that. But anyway, this wounding happened to Chiron. I think it was maybe in some kind of physical altercation or melee. I don't know that Chiron was actually involved, and I'm not even sure about that. But somehow he got some kind of wound. And despite how highly intelligent Chiron was, despite the fact that he could help everyone else solve their problems, Chiron searched high and low and could never ever find or discover the cure to his own wound. So I don't know if you may have some sort of visibly, some kind of visible, I don't want to say flaw, but something that you believe is a flaw physically. But this person that you're inquiring about, they find this attractive about you, perhaps because they see your resilience, they see your drive to make the best out of your situation despite whatever is going on with you in your situation. It could be that you don't have a visible wound or injury or even a psychological sticking point, as we were talking about before, that this person knows about. We all have psychological sticking points. But anyway, maybe they don't know about that. Maybe you don't have something obvious like what we've been talking about, but maybe for you, the situation is one in which the person simply sees you as someone who has overcome a lot in life despite your outer circumstances. At any rate, whatever applies to you is what this person finds attractive about you and what is chirotic, if you will, about you that they enjoy. Now, Chiron, not being a planet, actually doesn't rule any particular sign, but I think it's often associated with the signs of Virgo and Sagittarius. I tend to favor the idea of Sagittarius simply because Chiron, and I think I mentioned he's a centaur, but I don't know if I explained what that is. For those of you who don't know, a centaur in Greek mythology was a creature that was half human and half horse. You've probably seen it before, and in fact, a lot of times the symbol for Sagittarius is a centaur. It is a person who is human from the waist up and a horse from the waist down, and usually this creature is holding a bow and arrow. So you've probably seen this before if you're at all familiar with astrology. So anyway, I would say some of you could be Sagittarians. You could have Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Sagittarius Ascendant, lots of planets in the 9th house. Alternatively, you could also have a Virgo emphasis or a 6th house emphasis. If there's anyone here who maybe has to deal with some kind of chronic illness or disability. These things, again, are in a strange kind of way what makes you attractive to this person who you're inquiring about. Now, as for the cassette tape, I find that interesting. I didn't do a lot of thinking or planning when I paired the cards with the objects, so I don't know that the cassette tape has a lot to do with the Chiron story that we've been talking about here, but it could be that what this person likes about you is your taste in music. Maybe you have the same taste in music, or one that is compatible with their own. It could also be that since we're talking about woundedness and healing and those, what this person finds attractive about you is that you have actively been making efforts to improve, get better, overcome your circumstances, if not in a physical way, because that may not be possible or likely, at least in a mental way, in a mind over matter way. But as I said, the whatever it is, whatever the chirotic wound is that this person sees in you, they still find all of that beautiful. So that's actually a really great starting point, option one. I mean, someone finds what you probably think is not attractive, actually quite attractive. Okay, so let's see. Where do I want to put this? I think we'll put it here. Just leave it in the middle here. Okay, so let's see now. I wanted to look at different aspects to see if we can drill down and find out exactly what it is that this person finds attractive about you. So let's start with the most obvious, the physical. So for option one, those who chose Chiron and the cassette tape, what does this person find physically attractive about option one? Okay, we have the key. I'll put that there. And we have the scythe. I'm going to put that there. All right, so with the key, what this person finds attractive about you is physically, really kind of overall everything. They like the way that you look. I don't know if you are their quote unquote type, but yeah, there's kind of this overall thing they just like the whole shape of you. I don't know if I need to get specific because I can't really get specific with this kind of all-encompassing admiration here, but every little thing is what, magic? There's a song there. What is that? I think it's by Sting. Every little thing she does is magic. If I remember, I'll link that in the description so you can go listen to that. But yeah, that's kind of the sense I'm getting here, is that this person finds you overall attractive in your, nooks and crannies and all that stuff. As I was talking about before, there's something you feel is not ideal and not attractive, but they find it very attractive, and it looks like it's kind of an overall, they just find you attractive, all of what constitutes you physically. Now with the side, I feel like we're getting a bit more specific here. This person probably enjoys your curves. If you are female, then specifically I'd say that they like your hips. They find them very alluring. If you are male, maybe they still like your hips, but I think it's more so about your physique generally, that it is strong, and I would say maybe wiry. Like there's, you might not, I'm not picturing someone who's buff here, but this person still finds you attractive, even if you're not buff. This is more of a, I was going to say skinny. This is more of a skinny thing, and you're probably, wait a minute, what if I'm not skinny? I'm talking to males here. I think I might have a few watching. But anyway, yeah, this person doesn't think you are as perhaps chunky or portly as you think you are, because this is what's coming out here, is that they like something about your physique that they see as being slim or trim, something like that. Okay, so next let's look at what this person finds attractive about you emotionally. So for option 1, what does this person they're thinking of find emotionally attractive about option 1? Okay, we have the King of Wands. And we have the Tower. Let me see, I'm going to try to move this up. I got to make space on my table here for the other cards I'm expecting to include. But anyway, all right, so with the King of Wands here, this person admires and finds attractive your charisma, your creativity. You have probably a way of expressing yourself that is highly engaging and, dare I say, entertaining. And this person really finds that attractive. Confidence, there's this confidence coming out here, and they find that highly attractive too. You have kind of a take charge energy about you, but it's also like, it's not overbearing, it's not bossy, but it's just kind of fun. It's like you're someone who they feel is interesting to watch and interesting to listen to and interesting to just get to know and observe, in your natural habitat, so to speak. And it's interesting because I feel like I'm talking about things that aren't so much emotional, but I guess we could argue that being enthusiastic and having a sense of fun is sort of an emotional expression type of thing. And I suppose this is what the cards are getting at here. Now, as for the Tower, that's kind of interesting. I'm drawn here, though, to one of the figures falling out of the tower here. As you can see that the tower is being hit by lightning. And let's see, probably not going to look very nice here. I never could get my lens to focus. I still feel like maybe it's a lighting thing. But anyway, you might be able to make out here that one of the figures falling out of the tower is this person here on the left, who appears to be, even though they are falling head first, which is upside down, out of and away from the tower, in a stance of prayer or meditation. And they were wearing a crown, and the crown is coming off of their head. But it seems that what this person finds attractive about you emotionally is that you deal with crises in a rather, shall we say, zen kind of way. Like, it doesn't faze you. I mean, you know, the sky could be falling down, or in this case, you know, you could be getting blown out of a tall building, hurtling towards, I don't know, looks like, well, at least on this side, looks like the ocean. On the other side, it looks like just a lake of fire, which is kind of disturbing. But anyway, whatever the case may be, whatever you're like dealing with, you have this kind of calm about it. You know, you're like, well, you know, that's just life, and you keep it moving. You know, I don't know if I mentioned mind over matter before. I believe I did, but this is that energy again, this idea that you don't let your circumstances control who you are and how you are, and instead you just take more of a rational, calm, intellectual approach, perhaps, to these things. You are philosophical, you know, instead of being what we would usually think of as emotionally reactive. And that is interesting because the King of Wands being associated with fire, and I talked about Sagittarius, so here we are. Sagittarius is a fire sign, and the fire energy is coming out here, and we've got like literal fire coming out of this thing and the lake of fire over here. So there's, you know, there's fire energy here. I don't know if there's any Sagittarians in this group, but if there are, hello there. But anyway, yeah, despite the warmth and sense of fun and play that you also have this cool about you when it comes to calamities and things that would be stressful to deal with. Like, you deal with them in a surprisingly, perhaps surprisingly to this person, calm way. All right, so far so good. Pretty interesting, option one. So let's see, what do I want to talk about next? Okay, so now let's look at what this person finds attractive about you mentally, regarding the way that you think, the way that you know, communicate. What does this person find attractive about option one mentally? Okay, we have the House. And we have, oh, the Lady. Okay. So it would seem here, I wonder if I can I do this? Ha ha ha. Okay, yeah, I can do that. All right, so option one, your person finds it attractive that you have kind of this open-mindedness. They like that you are accepting You know, you're maybe a live and let live kind of person. Um, they like that, you know, you don't seem to have a lot of prejudices or discriminate or have biased attitudes, that sort of thing. They like that you embrace who you are. They like that. I get this sense here that you don't necessarily in the way that you communicate show any kind of extreme negative view of yourself in anything. Even though we talked about Chiron earlier, there's something this person perceives about you or in your life that perhaps ordinarily would make someone not be as evolved as you are about it. But they find it very attractive that, again, there's this kind of sense that you just deal with life in this way of not letting things get to you too much. You know, they don't stop you, they don't slow you down, or at least not for long. You don't get bogged down in emotional landscapes. So yeah, they like that about you. They find it quite attractive. Option one. So now let's look at how this person, well, or what this person finds attractive about you spiritually. Okay, so spiritually speaking, what does this person, who option one is inquiring about, find attractive about option one spiritually? Okay, we have honors. I don't know if, let's see if I can do this, what I want to do. Maybe. And, sorry, okay. And accident. So spiritually, this person sees you as this bright, shining light. And I guess I should explain when I say how do they view you spiritually, what I had in mind. It was more so like on the level of the subconscious, or as you were, the higher mind. How does this person's higher self perceive you? And again, yeah, your selfhood comes through. Like, they really see you. And by you, I mean like just beyond the physical or the emotional or the mental, like at this core level, at this level of the soul, they see it shining through. And this, again, is despite whatever may have happened in your life. I mean, we've got the tower, we've got this car, the accident, which I don't know if you can see here. Again, you've got lightning striking these looks like maybe Greek columns that are that have collapsed here on the ground. Oh, if only my lighting were better. Well, that's somewhat better. But anyway, so it does seem that this idea of difficulties and trials and tribulations and whatnot comes through. But again, this person, there's a fighting spirit here that they perceive at a spiritual level, and they find that highly attractive. Option one. So let me see. What else do I want to talk about? Okay, all right. A little levity here. Well, maybe not levity, we'll see. What is currently on this person's mind about you? What's on their mind about you currently? Since we're asking about what they find attractive about you, let's see what's on their mind about you currently. Option 1. Let's see. Okay. We have, I ain't got a dime, but what I got is mine. I ain't rich, but Lord, I'm free. That is from Amarillo by Morning by George Strait. I'm going to try to put that right there, right up top. Okay. So now this is what's on their mind about you. So perhaps they feel like even though you don't have material wealth or material things, or all of the typical, or the things typically considered advantages in life, that you do still come across as being someone who is free. And we're talking about, like mentally free, that you are not bound by your circumstances, like you don't let them get you down. Instead, you rise above those things. It's as though you have an understanding that those things are not you. They don't reflect on who you truly are, or the part of you that truly matters. And so that's pretty beautiful, option 1. So I'm going to, before I close this reading out here, I'm going to just see if there's anything else here. I cannot believe it. I'm just glanced at the time here. I didn't expect for this to keep going so long. Well, we'll see. I apologize in advance to anybody who comes across this reading, option 1, and then discovers that the other ones are not as long. I really didn't, like I said, I don't pay attention to the time, but I might run out of disk space or something if I try to make every reading as long as this one's been. But anyway, just one more thing for you, option 1. Is there anything else here that option 1 should know about what their person finds attractive about them? Okay, we have a fidget spinner. And I think I'll take this bottom one here. A mason jar. Okay, I think here that this person finds you attractive, but I don't know to what extent they have communicated this to you, or any of these things about why they find you attractive, or that they find you attractive at all. I'm getting some kind of nervous energy here, but they're trying to control it. They're trying to probably bottle up their feelings of distress or anxiety around their feelings for you. I don't know why they would be anxious about them. Maybe they're just an anxious person, or maybe there's some particular reason in your situation why they would feel nervous about it. Maybe they feel like it's not appropriate or something for them to find you attractive or to communicate that. And that it could be because of some situational reason, like maybe you work with them and that's not allowed to be fraternizing, as they call it. But whatever the case may be, yeah, I mean, there's some kind of hesitation on their part, perhaps, to be totally open with you about that. Yeah, so it's a good thing that you came to this reading. But anyway, I'm going to leave your reading here, option 1. Thanks for sticking it out and bearing with me, because I don't think I was very smooth in the beginning. But anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Until next time, goodbye. I'm going to move on now to the next option. Okay. hello there. Option 2, if you chose this card, Juno, and or this object looks like a ring, this will be your reading. So again, the question we're answering today is, what do they find attractive about you? And you chose Juno. Juno, in astrology, is associated with relationships. It's associated with marriage in particular, but any kind of committed relationship, any kind of contractual relationship, such as a business partnership. Now, there's a ring here, and I paired that intentionally, so I think we're probably talking about committed relationships here of a romantic nature. But what they find attractive about you is that they see that you're marriage material. They see that the way that you carry yourself, the way that you have a respect for this kind of relationship is very attractive to them. In a day and age where people don't always find committed relationships appealing, you still do. So there's a certain traditionality here. And with Juno, Juno is the Roman goddess of marriage, of love, of this type of contractual relationship. She's also kind of considered, I guess, the queen of the gods, because she is married to Jupiter, who is the king of the gods. So she actually has a lot of different significations, but she's mainly known, certainly when astrologers talk about Juno, as having to do with marriage itself. And if you go and familiarize yourself with any of the myths, and I guess I should say that she's the Roman equivalent to the Greek goddess Hera. So it really, they kind of get conflated, the two, as you go. So Juno became associated with Hera, and Hera has many myths associated with her, in which she is chasing her husband Zeus around, or I should say maybe she's stalking his many girlfriends and conquests. Juno does not take kindly to her husband stepping out on her. And so, again, the fierce protection of marriage and that contract, the sacredness of that, this person finds very attractive about you, that you are not only marriage material, but that you are oriented towards committed, serious relationships, and you take them seriously. Now, with the ring here, I think that is probably indicative of how they believe this is maybe unusual these days. It's a rare gem that they have found in you, someone who has the respect that you do for this type of relationship, that you are willing to, maybe they get the sense anyway that you're willing to go all out for the sake of this type of relationship. So I don't know if you're already in a relationship with this person. Maybe, for those of you maybe who are already in a committed relationship with this person, then they like how you defend and uphold and value and prioritize that relationship. And if you're not in a relationship with this person of that nature, then they can see that you would be that type of person if they were in a relationship with you. Okay, so now let's look at what this person finds physically attractive about you. Option 2. So for option 2, what does this person on their mind find physically attractive about them? Okay, we have the ring. All right. Well, I'm glad that I love it when we get some kind of repetition. And we have the tree. Okay, now I think this is actually, well, I'm sorry, I was thinking something else. We're talking about how the physical attractiveness here. Okay, so what they find physically attractive about you, option 2, if you are female, they find your breasts attractive. They like their shape, okay, and whatever else they're doing. I don't want to get graphic or like beyond PG, okay. But yes, that is something that they find very attractive about you physically. They also like that perhaps you. I don't know exactly what, different people are going to have different physiques, but this person sees you as being like solid, like well built. So even whatever your size is, they like it. They like that you are well built, because I'm not necessarily getting a sense of that they, like. I don't think this is speaking to. Weight, for example. I think this is speaking to just overall. They find it attractive that your body is not probably one that is very delicate looking. Whatever your, however in shape or out of shape you think you are, this person sees you as being almost. I don't know if it's necessarily athletic, but there's something here about the strength, that they see in your body. They feel like you can handle, I don't know, like going out into a field and working a field all day, like picking crops or something. I know that's like pretty out there, but I'm just telling you what's coming to my mind here. So but anyway, yeah, they feel like, I guess what I'm maybe getting at here, it's like how the gals who grow up on a farm and they're used to rolling their sleeves up and working hard, like they're not little wisps of women, they're solid, they can do a lot with their bodies. They've got stamina, they've got strength, so like I said, this person finds that very attractive. So this is not about being some kind of supermodel ideal or Hollywood starlet type of person. This is physically, I mean, they like your body and what it looks like it can do, like well, it's kind of funny that song didn't come up, but Brick House by is it the Commodores? I think it might be the Commodores, but anyway, go check that out. I'm gonna see if I can make a note about that. Oh shoot, bear with me here. Don't want to miss anything when I go back later. There was something from option 1 too, but that has nothing to do with your reading. Please bear with me here. I'll have to go back and listen to it. I don't remember now. But anyway, so yeah, that is what your person finds attractive about you physically, option 2. Okay, so let's move on here now and look at what this person finds emotionally attractive about you. So what does this person find emotionally attractive about option 2? Okay, we have the 3 of discs. and we have strength. Okay, again, here we got strength, and we got the trio talking about how you're solid and all this sort of thing, but this is actually not about the physicality, though it is interesting. We're getting kind of the same idea coming through. This is about emotionality. And this person likes that you have this kind of attitude of wanting to work with others, playing nicely with others. Like you have the temperament, you know, to collaborate with folks, whether that's at work or at home or wherever. And there's a kind of welcoming element to it that like you enjoy it, and you're good at getting along with others. You play well with others. So they like that. They like that even dealing with difficult people, you somehow find a way to get them to go along with perhaps the rest of the group, whatever the group is wanting. They like that you have self-control. Because that is an emotional thing, you know. You're not impulsive. They like that you have patience. You're a patient person, and you can spend a long time working at something. Specifically here, I think it's maybe a long time working at a relationship or some relationship dynamic that may be difficult and that other people might give up on after a while. Like you keep going. And again, is this speaking to like this Juno energy dedication that you have to relationships, how important they are, and that you don't mind rolling up your sleeves to work and cultivate those relationships. What's with all of the farm ideas, farm imagery in this reading? Option 2, do you like working out in the field, or you garden, or what? Are you an outdoorsy person? What's going on here? But anyway, yeah, so that is what they like about you, or what they find attractive about you emotionally. So now let's look at what they find attractive about you mentally. So what does this person on option 2's mind find attractive about them mentally? We have the letter. Now, what was I doing before? I think I was putting them like this. Okay. And the mirror. Okay, so option 2, they enjoy the way you express yourself, the words you use. I don't know if you like literally have written this person, but if you have written things to them, whether they be text messages or DMs or emails or, oh my goodness, even, you know, something on paper by hand, which is extremely rare these days, but just in case, they like the way that you express yourself. They find it very attractive. They find your turns of phrase and the expressions that you use. I was going to say pretty. I don't know. You got some kind of way of words that they like. It's something pleasant here, I think. Your way of speaking, which would reflect your way of thinking, your way of expressing yourself in communication, whatever form, is... Oh, there's something here, I think that's graceful. And they find that attractive. All right, let me see. What else? All right, so what about spiritually? What does this person on option 2's mind find attractive about option 2 spiritually? Okay, we have gifts. Put that there? Yes, I can. Okay. And we have traffic. Okay, so again, the idea of communication is coming out here with this traffic card. So it seems that they are relating your communication to you at a spiritual level. And by spiritual, I'm talking about how the person's higher self perceives you. You know, I mean, beyond the physical and, you know, kind of the things that you interact with when you're interacting with a person, you know, in the 3D, as they call it. Like, this is beyond that. This is about your soul. Okay, so what they may recognize in you at a soul level that they find attractive, and this is not something that they would probably talk about unless they happen to be a spiritual person. But that is why, again, I'm referring to this here as what their higher self perceives here about you that is attractive to them. And here we see the generosity coming through. They like your generosity of spirit. You know, I was talking before about being dedicated, valuing relationships, being willing to work at the relationships. And here specifically, the communication, again, as I said, is being highlighted. So at a soul level, they value, appreciate, and find very attractive, again, the communication qualities that you have. Okay. So let's see. We'll look at something a little fun here. So at this time, currently, what is on their mind about option 2? The person who option 2 came to this reading for, what's on their mind at this time about option 2? Let's see. Let's see. Okay. And what is this? We have, she's the kind of girl that talks and leaves you standing there. Oh, sorry, leaves you standing there. This is from Baby Doll by Toni. And that goes along quite well with what we've been talking about here, I think. This notion here, the communication, is that they're finding attractive about you. Here is referring to somebody who is very clever and witty, very likely, and someone who says things you're not even prepared for. You weren't even expecting them to say these things, and so you kind of are left speechless and don't know how to respond. But this person likes that. I mean, this kind of verbal dexterity that you have. I find it very, very attractive. Okay, let's see. Close this reading out here. I just want to look and see if there's anything else here. Is there anything else option 2 needs to know about what their person finds attractive about them? We have El Yoga and El Tinder. Okay. So again here, I think we're looking at the physique. I think this is another message about the physical attractiveness here. These two here. Let's see if we can get these up to the camera. So the tree is kind of, if you could imagine the branches as arms reaching up in the same manner that this man here doing yoga is reaching up. But as you can see, he's showing off his, well, let's ignore the pink underwear, or what would you call these? I don't know. What, pink briefs? Anyway, let's ignore those if you can. But the body here, the physique is being like shown off here. This person, in fact, is in this very open stance and very not self-conscious, okay? And so this person, it looks like we should emphasize here how they like your physique You know, they like that it looks strong and solid and capable of things. Again, we're going to keep this PG here, y'all. And then we got tender, so that again is, you know, very much thinking, making me think of how this person maybe is finding you very attractive to look at and imagine being with. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there, option 2. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to move on to the next reading now. Looks like I'm sort of speeding up. I'm not sure. This is, I got to speed up, or else I'm going to have to make this part 1 and part 2 or something. Okay. Alrighty. So option 3, if you chose this card and or this object, a microphone, this is your reading. Again, we are answering the question today, what does this person find attractive about you? So you chose Pallas, which is a name for the Greek goddess Athena. Athena is the goddess of, let's see if I can remember. She is the goddess of war, interestingly. There's something else she's the goddess of. Yes, wisdom. Okay, I had to go look at it. Okay. She's also the goddess of crafts, you know, arts and crafts, things you make with your hands, using your hands to make crafts, okay? And by extension, she's associated in astrology with strategizing. So Pallas is an energy of high intelligence and strategy and manual dexterity, being good with your hands, you know, so that you could do things like weave and, I don't know, woodworking things, or, you know, crafts. Okay, obviously I'm not into crafts since I can't really tell you a lot of give you a lot of examples, but you know what I mean, I hope. Anyway, did I say weaving? Yeah, I said weaving. Okay, so yeah, Pallas, it carries this energy also of being very stern and warlike, not in a Yosemite Sam type of way, but in a military strategist type of way. Hence, we were talking about her association with strategy. So this person who you're inquiring about probably finds it attractive about you that you are, from their perspective, highly intelligent, and not only highly intelligent, but you apply your intelligence in strategic ways, probably to get what you want and to build what you want. And again, you know, having this, I don't know if you have some kind of skill with your hands that you do something. Maybe you don't weave. Who weaves these days? Knitting or crocheting, something like that. Sewing. I don't know. You do things like that, or anything really that you would make with your hands. So any kind of art making that is hands-on, you know, like pottery. What do they call that? Being a ceramicist. Anyway, so if you do that kind of thing, if you're artsy or craftsy, the person finds that attractive. If you are this strategic thinker, they find that attractive. If you are not afraid to stand up for what you believe in and go to war over it, again, like this person finds that attractive. Now, I'm trying to think. I don't believe that astrologically Pallas is associated. I'm not sure what Pallas is associated with. Could it be Scorpio, perhaps? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. If somebody knows, please enlighten me in the comments. But anyway, I think I've gotten the gist of. I think I've set it out there for you so you can understand that this person likes these types of qualities in you, option 3. Now with the microphone, again, we talked about how you're not afraid to go to war over something. I think here the microphone is referring to the idea that you're not afraid to be outspoken about what you think and what you believe in, that you are probably a clear and concise communicator, maybe even cutting at times, which maybe is not fun for the person on the receiving end of that, but they find all of that attractive about you, option 3. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking, like, is there a astrological sign that we would associate? If I think of something, I'll mention it as we go on, but let's continue. So for those who chose option 3, what does their person find physically attractive about them? Okay, we have the whip, and we have the gentleman. Okay, so I think this is looking like masculine energy, but you know, you could be female and still be embodying the masculine energy. And whether you're male or female, the person you're inquiring about likes that. They like that you have this forthcoming type of energy. But anyway, physically, they think that you're hot. They think you're sexy. You know, maybe it has to do with the way that you know, aren't afraid to speak up, speak out, go toe to toe with your foe. Or what have you. But yeah, this is yeah, they find that attractive. They think that you interestingly, I was just harkening back to option 2 in case you were at all attracted to that. Even though I don't think that energy overall is necessarily very similar to this, but the person did find the other person you know, sexy. And here, I think there's a certain maybe athleticism that they also find attractive about you, option 3. So I don't know if you are into fitness, do you go work out at the gym or whatever you do. They find that very attractive, and they find you physically, I guess it pays off if that's what you're doing. And if it's not what you're doing, well, maybe you were just blessed with, you know, that kind of body type that you don't need to go work out at the gym in order for it to look like you worked out at the gym. I don't know. At any rate, yeah, they think you're sexy. So whatever it is you look like, they think that it's hot. I don't know if you're taller than average. Are you taller than average? If you're taller than average, they may find that attractive as well. Okay, let's see what else we want to look at here. Let's look next at what they find emotionally attractive about you, option 3. So what does this person find emotionally attractive about option 3? We have the Page of Swords and Death. Okay, option 3. So, you know, I was going to say this doesn't look very emotional, but I think it's because they see you as someone who maybe prefers to intellectualize things instead of leaning into the emotional side of those things. You'd rather not get into the perhaps messy waters of feelings. But they actually like that. They like that you're kind of, just more logical and strategic, like we were talking about before. Like this is not, emotional really energy. We're seeing some air here, and now I mention it. Okay, air. So we're getting air signs here. We got the air signs Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, but we also have the Death card, which represents Scorpio. I think what I mentioned, I said, is this Scorpio? But I could see Pallas as being kind of airy, air sign oriented. So we'll go with those ideas. Aquarius in particular, though, I think Aquarius, Scorpio, but with a side of Gemini. I don't know if I'm ready to say Libra, but it is an air sign, so I'll put it out there. Okay, so what does this person find mentally attractive about option 3? Okay, we have the Gift, and we have the Stork. Is this the Stork? I think that's what that is. Okay, mentally, they like that it's like you're full of surprises, option 3. Maybe once they think they've figured you out, they discover that they haven't, and that's delightful because it means you're not dull or boring or predictable, and they really like that. They like that you find it easy to flit from topic to topic, like you have the kind of mental agility to handle, that kind of conversation, one where you don't just stay on one thing, but you talk about this and that and the other, and they enjoy that. I think they find that enriching, intellectually stimulating, shall we say. Okay, and so now spiritually, what does this person on option 3's mind find attractive about them? We have money and the Star of the Woman. Okay, so now we got some feminine energy coming in here. We had the masculine energy up here before I was talking about, but now we got some feminine energy. So now what I mean by spiritually, I'm referring to like the person's higher self and how they are perceiving you and what they find at that level to be attractive about you. What they find attractive about you at the soul level, shall we say. So they feel like you've got a lot to offer. I was already talking about how they enjoy, talking with you and probably learning from you. And this, I think, is coming through again, but also that there's a sense maybe that like you want to improve yourself, work on yourself. When you see that there's something wrong, you want to deal with it instead of ignoring it or letting it just, linger or sweeping it under the rug or anything like that. Like that's not your tendency. You probably have a sense of urgency about resolving issues. Not only personal issues, but issues maybe that are even interpersonal as well. So yeah, at the soul level, here it's the, as I said, feminine energy that's coming through. So I'm not honestly getting a lot of gentleness or yieldingness or anything like that, but this person maybe perceives at the soul level that is there, that you do have this side to you. Maybe only people who get close to you would see it. So I don't know if this person has gotten close to you or close enough to see that. But this is their perception here, what we're talking about here, what they find attractive about you. So regardless of whether you believe yourself to be a certain way or not, this is reflecting not how you see yourself or what you think is attractive about you, but what they see in you and what they think is attractive about you. So let's see. Let us answer the question next. Let's see. What's on their mind about you at this time? Option 3. For those who chose option 3, what is on their person's mind right now about option 3? Let's see. Okay, we have like Cleopatra, Joan of Arc, or Aphrodite. That's from She's So High, from Bachman. Okay. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say his name. You've probably heard the song. I'll link it in the description. But anyway. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Well, maybe it's not actually. he or she does in fact regard you in this very high light. They think you're amazing, and this is what they find attractive about you, is that you're like Cleopatra, you're like Joan of Arc, you're like Aphrodite. And which is interesting to me is that the Joan of Arc comes through because she was, you know, this famous warrior, you know, and so to have your female warrior show up here in this comment kind of confirms what we've already been talking about here. But there's also this feminine side or energy, again, that's coming through here with Aphrodite. And here we've got the star of the woman. So yeah, I mean, like they see you as this intoxicating mix of all those things. Cleopatra is a ruler. She's like a, what is she? What do they call them? Not queens. Do they call them queens? When you're like, let me see. You got the pharaoh. What did they call the? Gosh, I don't know why I can't think. Did they? I'm sure they called them something. Did they call them? Not pharaohess. And I'm sure they didn't call them pharaoh either. What did they call? I don't know. Does Cleopatra have a title? Somebody let me know in the comments. Anyway, so yeah, that is pretty amazing. Option 3, that they see you in this wow, amazing light and find you attractive in all those ways, on all those levels. Let's see if there's anything else here that you should know at this time about how or what they find attractive about you, option 3. We've got El Juice Cleanse and El Nail Art. Okay, option 3. So they find your hands attractive. Okay, whether you're male or female. I mean, here we got a female hand depicted here with some neat art on the nails. So I don't know if you do neat things with your nails or not, but if you're male, maybe you don't, but they still find your hands attractive. And also it looks like maybe they are aware that you do things that are health promoting. It may be your diet, or as we were talking about here, gym routine, or or whatever, if that exists. But yeah, they and we also talked about how you deal with your own, you know, issues or issues that you have with others, like in a direct kind of way. And you know, you don't sit on them. You're proactive. And so again, that comes through as what they find attractive about you, option 3. All right, so thank you so much for joining me, option 3. Going to move on. I think I'm getting a little faster, but maybe not by much. I don't know. Hope my video doesn't run out. Okay. All right, now hello, option 4. If you chose this card and or this object, this is your reading. We are answering the question, what do they find attractive about you? So you chose this card, Vesta. Vesta is the Roman goddess of the hearth and of the home. And is there something else? I guess she's like family oriented some kind of way. But the myth from the astrological application that we tend to focus on is the part of the myth in which she is this virginal, pure individual who tends to the eternal flame or something like that in a temple. So she's a religious, I don't know, I don't want to say officiant or official, but she's a religious worker, if you will. And, or I don't know, I'm sorry, she's not, but the people who keep her temple, I think that's what it is. Okay, so Vesta is a goddess. She represents the things I just said, the hearth and the home and family. And she is associated with maidens, which is to say young unmarried women who, have not, probably, yeah, they would be virgins, basically. And so that's what you've probably heard of before, is a thing called the Vestal Virgin. Okay, I'm sorry. I am not really on top of things today. If you want to see how messy this reading is, go back to option 1. But anyway, yeah, the Vestal Virgins were like literally virgins. They were required to be virgins, and they were just dedicated to working in these temples. And yeah, I think they took some kind of vow of chastity, and if they were found out to have broken the vow, then they get severely punished. I don't remember exactly what they would do to them. Probably not nice though, because we're talking about Roman times. So anyway, your person probably finds you attractive in the way that a young unmarried woman would be, the maiden. It doesn't mean that you are a young unmarried woman, but this is the energy here that you've chosen. So there's something about maybe the purity or the innocence or just the home orientation of Vesta that your person believes is an embodiment of how you are, and it's something that they find attractive. I associate Vesta astrologically with the sign of Virgo. So you don't have to be a Virgo, but you may be. Somebody here might be a Virgo. That it's kind of that energy to some extent. But yeah, your person finds it attractive that you are perhaps home-oriented and dedicated to things of the home, your family. You're not probably running around out there all over the place for any purpose. And so they like that. You're probably selective and discriminating when it comes to romantic partners, and they find that attractive. Maybe you don't have a whole lot of exes, and they find the absence of exes attractive. And as for the headphones here, this gives me the vibe of, being insular, like, I don't know if it's necessarily shy, but it could be introverted. They like that you're not trying to steal the spotlight all the time, or, you're not the life of the party. They like your probably quiet, like there's a quietness about you. And I don't know if that's how you are when people get to know you, because introverts often are appearing that way on the outside, but then with people they know are perhaps a lot more expressive. But we're talking about what they find attractive about you, so this is one of those things that they probably find attractive about you. Option 4. Okay. So let's see, what does this person find physically attractive about option 4? Okay, we've got the bouquet, and we have the fox. Okay, option 4, so your person thinks that you have a natural beauty, and that goes along with, again, the Virgo energy, the Vesta energy. They like your face. You have a pretty face to them. They think your face is pretty. But at the same time, they also think that your body is foxy. So, like, they think that, you know, your shape is fit and sexy. I don't know whether you consider yourself fit and sexy or not, but this is what they find attractive about you. So this is from their perspective. So we won't argue with them. We'll just appreciate that they have this view of you. Okay, so let's see. What does this person find emotionally attractive about you? Option 4. Okay, we have the 3 of Cups. And we have the Knight of Wands. Alrighty, option 4. So, I was just saying that you may not be the life of the party. They might like that you're, you know, kind of quiet and demure and whatnot. And I also said that maybe that's how you appear on the outside, but people who know you well, people you're comfortable with, you may be a lot more, you know, expressive. And so it is here that this person finds you emotionally expressive, good-tempered, in a cheerful and happy type of mood, typically. Surprisingly adventurous. And they find that attractive as well. I talked about Vesta being about the home and whatnot, but you might actually like to go out and do things. You might, you know, want to, I don't know, go somewhere exotic and do interesting things. Maybe you've expressed that to this person. I don't know how much you go out there. I don't know. Maybe you just watch it all on YouTube, like someone else doing it, but but you vibe with it. So and this person, I guess, is picking up on that or knows about it. Maybe you talked about it or shown them. I don't know. But yeah, so they like that you have this gung-ho attitude, and that you are ready to have fun. You know, there's a fun-loving energy here. Okay, let's see. So what does this person find attractive about you mentally? Okay, we have the map and the tower. So they like mentally that you are a planner. You know, you don't maybe so much just jump into things without having done any kind of research on it first or having learned anything about it. You like to know before you go. So even though there's this adventurous streak, you still want to look before you leap. And they like that. They think that's attractive about you. I guess this combination, like it's kind of a balance here, between going out in the world and questing. That's the word that is coming to me. And instead, well, I'm sorry, it's not just about going out into the world and being on some kind of quest to have a big adventure. It's about understanding where you want to go so that you can plot a course to get there. So they like that about you. So, for example, if you are going on vacation, it might be somewhere really exciting with a lot of fun things to do, but you don't want to just show up and then just, spend your time however, just flitting around from place to place. You want to have maybe an itinerary. You want to know, well, what are the places that I or we can go, and how can we schedule those so that we can maybe make the most of our time or do the things that are the most interesting. The things that are the most appealing to us or me with the time that we or I have in this place. So this person likes that. They like that there's this kind of, what do you say? Carefulness in your recklessness, if that makes sense. If we can call you reckless. I'm not really prepared to say you're reckless, but... But again, there's that big fun-loving energy there. Okay, let's see. So, how about spiritually? What does this person find attractive about option 4, spiritually? Okay, we've got, what is this, support and the table. All right. So now by spiritually, I mean, like, what does this person's higher self perceive as being attractive about you? So in case they, aren't actually spiritual, they still at that level, which would be a subconscious level, have recognized some things about you, perhaps spiritually. So that's what I wanted to get at here with this, how they, or what they find attractive about you at the soul level. So here I can't help but note that we've got a globe in this picture here on this card, and we've got a map of, looks like Europe over here. So I was talking about the adventurousness, the going, exotic places, or that kind of thing, and so this person finds that adventurous spirit. Again, what you're talking about, like, they find that attractive. They see that, I guess, in your soul as you are. Maybe at the soul level, you're kind of a wanderer, which is interesting because we talked about the Vesta energy at the beginning, and now you're at home or home-oriented or family or something like that. Nice, quiet activities, I guess. And yet then we got this woo kind of, like energy with these two cards here. And now it seems that at the soul level, this person is recognizing that. So again, I don't know to what extent you're living these things out, but this person is recognizing these traits about you, and they find them highly attractive. The traits of wanting to go out and explore and do cool stuff. They really find that very alluring. And also, it looks like it's just, I think, just spending the time with you. There's something about just, with the table, just sitting down and having a meal or a drink or something with you that, they find it just a wonderful experience, one that, they perhaps look forward to in the future, or have in the past particularly enjoyed. And there's something here, I guess, since we were talking about, I mean, like, spiritually, I don't know what you have spoken of, like I said, maybe it's hopes and dreams, aspirations, or like things on your bucket list, or places you want to travel, or what you would do, or what you're watching on YouTube, like I said. But this person, it looks like at a soul level, like is recognizing the I don't know, the beauty of your curiosity and excitement for these things. Okay, interesting. Option 4. So let's see. What is your person? What's on their mind about you currently? What is on this person's mind about you at this time? Let's see. Let's see. Says only you can make me happy, and that's from the song Happy by Surface. Okay, so that is very self-explanatory. Only you can make them happy. Wow, option 4. Who is this? You make them happy, and you're the only person or only thing. Maybe both. That's quite an extreme statement there, isn't it? But this is apparently how they, are thinking of you at this time, and that, of course, would make you very attractive to them. Is that they see you as a source, not only a source of happiness, but the source of happiness. Wow. Okay. Wow. Option 4. So is there anything else that would be useful for option 4 to know about what this person finds attractive about option 4? Okay, we have L food porn and L bad hombre. Okay, so this is drawing my attention to your hair. Maybe there's something attractive to them about your hair, about the style that you wear, or maybe even the color. And I don't know if it's two-toned or not, but in this, it is. It's perhaps interesting. I don't know if your hair is different than most people's hair somehow. Like it's a different color or something. Different cut. I don't know. But yeah, this person finds your hair attractive. And this food porn could be a couple of things here. It could be that, I think that what this is, I think that they find your backside attractive. Okay. Whether you're male or female. But it could be, since we had Vesta in the beginning, because it is interesting, it feels like we kind of veered away from the Vesta energy. But anyway, I guess maybe you're just a multifaceted individual, option 4. So with the food porn, though, I think maybe there's something having to do with cooking here, perhaps. Like maybe they have, as I said, enjoyed spending some time with you, eating, sitting at a table, enjoying each other's company, and something tasty that perhaps you made. Maybe you are someone who cooks. And maybe they've had something that you've cooked. That might apply for some of you, probably not all of you. But probably most of you, it's the booty that we're supposed to be talking about here. Okay, option 4. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to move on now. Wow, this reading is long. Hello there, option 5, I believe we are on. 1, 2, 3. Yes, okay. Again, the question that we are answering today is, what do they find attractive about you? So option 5, you chose Lilith and this lipstick here. Lilith, Lilith is an interesting character. Lilith is astrologically associated with the, I guess, the Jewish and ancient Near Eastern stories about someone named Lilith, or someone with a name sort of like Lilith, or a group of someones with a name like Lilith. Lilith and the, well, and again, this is controversial. Lilith is controversial, so that's, well, we'll start with that. The person may be controversial, but they find it attractive. Okay. I don't know how you're controversial. Maybe somehow you go against convention, go against what everybody else is doing, and that maybe rubs some people the wrong way, or it leads you to get what might be considered negative attention because of that. Maybe some discrimination. Maybe somehow your reputation is not what would be considered all around good for some reason. And this person, though, finds that attractive. They like that you're kind of maybe countercultural, that you do your own thing, that you don't care what other people think, that you are going to do you. And that's kind of the Lilith character in the myths and in, well, depending on the source, Jewish writings from way back, like I think the Babylonian Talmud, which would be, I'm not even sure if that is Common Era. It might be BCE, before Common Era. Some thousands of years ago. Okay, so anyway, astrologically, though, the stuff I was talking about, the controversy, the being inappropriate or taboo, somehow this person you're thinking of finds this attractive in you, some kind of way that you're, like I said, controversial or taboo or something. It might be in the context of them. Maybe somehow you are taboo to them. Maybe you are not from the right social group or something, like it could be, you're not from the right demographic, race or religion or nationality or sexual orientation or what have you. There's something going on that is different, and that society maybe does not warmly embrace, shall we say. But this person finds that attractive about you. Option 5, right? Yes. Okay. All right. So for option 5, what does this person, their person, find physically attractive about option 5? We have the letter and we have the book. Okay, option 5. That is interesting. I just realized, okay, we got kind of these two literary cards, but I asked about, the physical. And, so it could be that they like your skin tone. They find your skin tone attractive. Again, I don't know if you're maybe from a different culture than they are, or ethnicity or something, and maybe that's why this is coming out, or maybe somehow your skin color differs from theirs in some kind of way. Your complexion here, I think, is being highlighted. I think here. I'm sorry, I was just drawn to on this card here of the book. You probably can't see it because my camera will not focus. But on this book here, we got, I think that is Puss in Boots. Is that Puss in Boots? Because it says grimoire. I think that's like the Grimm's fairy tales. Wait, is Puss in Boots a Grimm's fairy tale? I don't know. But anyway, that's what's on the card, I think. So, I want to keep this PG, okay? So as for what they find attractive to you, about you physically, I think this is at the very least a fantasy of theirs that they would like to see it. And they find it physically very exciting. But I will just say Puss in Boots, okay? So I hope you can figure it out. I don't want to be crass or, like I said, we're going to keep it PG here, okay? Now, if you're male, I think what they find attractive about you is just your attitude. Like, it's not even that there's something physically like that where I can point to it, like it's your this body part or that body part. I'm not getting that. I'm getting it's about the attitude, the swagger, okay, that they find physically attractive about you. So that because of your attitude, your aura, somehow like I don't know if they say it doesn't matter to them, but I don't know. I don't know if everyone has experienced this, but I think some people can say that at some point in life they have found themselves feeling physically attracted to someone who is not conventionally physically attractive. And I'm not saying that's you, male watching option 5, but what I'm saying is that it's like with those situations, it's like what the person actually looks like feature for feature somehow doesn't matter because there's some other energy that is very attractive instead or along with. Maybe the person is just ordinary looking or maybe even below average. Even though, again, I'm not saying that's you, option 5, but I'm trying to just kind of describe what this person here is attracted to you physically regarding. So it's just kind of maybe it's the way you move, but I think it's like just the way you carry yourself is the energy. By the way, I guess that could be for male or female, but we already talked about what I'm not going to say anymore because we already talked about that. So let's move on, shall we, to the next question. So what does this person find emotionally attractive about you, option 5? Okay, we got the 5 of Cups. And I wasn't expecting that. We also have the Wheel of Fortune. This is interesting. Okay, I guess that goes with Lilith. This person likes that you're emotional. We finally got one. We got an emoter here. Someone who emotes. Because I don't think we've really seen that like this in any of the piles so far. But yes, this person actually likes that you're emotional the way that you are. And some people might not be able to handle your emotionality. But this person finds it very alluring. It's part of what draws them so much to you. Yeah, like, what is that song? I'm going to make note of this song. I don't remember the exact name of it. But there's a song by Sheryl Crow. I think it's called Are You Strong Enough? I will link it in the description. But I think that song kind of gets at what I'm talking about here, like you, bless you, option 5, you may be perceived by others as emotionally difficult. You know, maybe you've got, you know, a tempestuous type of way of expressing how you feel, shall we say. And yeah, like that is not ideal for some, but your person really digs it. They think it's attractive. That's good. That's good that they find this attractive, because this is the kind of thing where, hey, maybe this is something that others would call a non-attribute, but they really, really like it. Option 5. Okay, so now what does this person find attractive about you mentally? Option 5. Okay, we've got, what is it? Fall. That's the fall card, as in autumn. And the heart. Okay, so we've seen someone who's not really emotional, and now we have someone who is. And so emotional, in fact, at least from this person's perspective, that it kind of comes in and takes over the rationality. I'm not seeing that as being bad here, though. This person likes it, or even loves it. They probably are excited about it. Excited. You are not dull. Option 5. I think that is definitely what they find attractive about you. You're not dull. And I guess, yeah, like, this is not really, to me, mental. I think this is indicating that you, at the end of the day, you are someone who is rooted in and grounded in feeling. And maybe that's why you do what you want, and you don't care if other people like it or not. But you found somebody here, option 5, who likes it. Let me see. Now what's next? Okay. So spiritually, what does this person find attractive about option 5? We've got the, actually no, this is fatality. I think it's fate. This is fate. Okay. And we've got, ooh, union. Okay, so this person, option 5, at a soul level is recognizing you, recognizing your soul as perhaps one they have known in past lives. I don't know if you are aware of whether this person even believes in that kind of thing, but there's a sense here that at least their higher self believes that there's something here that's meant to be. It was at the very least meant for you to cross paths, for you to experience each other to whatever extent you've experienced each other. But this here is speaking of, you know, a deep passion. And we got hearts over here, and we got a heart over here. You got any more hearts? No, I'm not seeing any more hearts, but that's enough. You know, there's not only emotionality here, but, you know, ardor, passion, heat, fire. And this is like at a soul level, like you're just picking up where you left off from some previous incarnation. I mean, from their higher self perspective. Okay, wow, interesting, pile 5. So, what is on your person's mind at this time about you? What's on their mind right now about you? Let's see. Let's see what's on their mind about you right now. Okay. Okay. You're the only one who really knew me at all. This is from Against All Odds by Phil Collins. So is this someone that you are no longer in touch with? Option 5. Is this all about their glorious memories of you? I suppose that's likely for some of you watching, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, this person could actually be currently in your life, and just here thinking about how they feel like you're the only one who really knows them. And if it's a past person, then, you know, new. Past tense. But, yeah. Which is interesting because I was asking what they find attractive about you. But here we're getting a window in on to how they are sad, maybe, if it's a past person, you know, about the loss of this very special person, namely you, who really knew them, and when other people don't or didn't really know them, and you know, if it's a current person, then they still feel that way, that you're the only one who really knows them. Which I guess would make you pretty special. And that would, therefore, it makes sense that you would be highly attractive to them if you really knew them or really know them beyond anything anyone else knows, because they, I assume from this, were able to open up to you, or they are able to open up to you. So not only are they, you know, coming through with seeing you as very special, but they perhaps feel special themselves because for having known you, for having been able to experience, or being able to experience you, a very apparently emotional person, when maybe they're not able to open up and show whatever their emotions are so readily, or at least not to many people. Okay, so is there anything else? What else here to close it out? Does option 5 need to know about what this person finds attractive about them? We have La Craft Brew and L Prime. Okay, y'all. For those who are female, it's coming out again with this physical attraction that we were talking about, and I'll say it one more time, and that's it. Puss in Boots. Okay, they are apparently wanting us to emphasize the Puss in Boots. But yeah, I think they find you a rare bird. Special, and a truly notable experience, you know, whether they're experiencing you now or if they experienced you in the past. But that is what they find attractive about you, option 5. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to move on. Moving on. Hello there, option 6. If you chose this card Ceres and this donut, it is a, what is that on there? I guess it's a frosted donut with sprinkles. Nice. This will be your reading. Again, we are answering the question, what do they find attractive about you? So Ceres is the Greek, is that correct? Yeah, the Greek goddess of agriculture and grains. Anything else? I'm sure there's something else. Oh yes, fertility. Um, Astrologically, when we talk about Ceres, some people use asteroids, and there's an asteroid named after Ceres, and that's why I'm referring to astrology here. But astrologically, Ceres represents usually like nurturing or mothering energy. It's not necessarily like positive mothering energy. It could be negative mothering energy, actually. But yeah, we just keep it, neutral by saying mothering energy. So Ceres represents mothering energy, but also, literally nourishment, literal nourishment as in food. Okay. So you can go to someone's astrological chart and check out the location, what's going on with Ceres in their chart, and get a window in onto these types of things. And, where maybe they receive their nourishment or mothering, nurturing from, or where they seek it out, I should say. And so because you chose this card in donut option 6, your person likely feels that you have this nurturing, warm, motherly energy, and they find that very attractive. With the donut, I don't know, do you like donuts? Maybe you like sweets. Maybe they like, maybe you just like food. You might just be a foodie, and they find that attractive. Like, oh wow, someone who's not like counting calories or tracking carbs or what have you. As for you who aren't doing those things, of course. Now, I could have some people here watching who are, on a keto diet or something like that. And if so, you are still welcome here, because Ceres is about nourishment of whatever kind you choose. Just like I said, it's kind of neutral when I refer to Ceres as being about mothering energy. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be anywhere in between. And I'm not trying to place a value judgment on a dietary choice. Okay. I welcome every dietary persuasion here at Pick a Card Palace. And I actually am partial to donuts, but it's been a while since I've had one. But I digress. So as I was saying, option 6, your person finds perhaps food habits as well as just your warm, nurturing, motherly type energy attractive. And you might be kind of like a fierce mother too. We're going to keep it neutral when we talk about mothering, but we should touch on the fact that again, when we are looking at Ceres, we need to remember the myth associated with Ceres. Ceres is mother to, I think it's actually, is it Persephone? Or is it Proserpina? They're the same person. The Greeks and the Romans, I think like the Greeks had their pantheon, and then the Romans kind of stole it but gave everybody a different name. So like, Zeus, king of the gods in Greek myth, became Jupiter, king of the gods in Roman myth, etc. So Ceres is the equivalent of Demeter. And I think I said that Ceres was Greek, but maybe she was Roman. I don't know. Sometimes the pantheon stuff is weird, okay, at times. So just know that the myth does refer to Ceres, though, okay, some kind of way. But yeah, she is associated with the myth of, we'll call it Persephone because you've probably heard of this story, who was abducted by the king of the underworld, Pluto, or Hades, depending on whether you're talking about the Greek or the Roman version of the story. And he took her away. The daughter of Ceres was taken away and made to stay in the underworld because Pluto fancied her. He wanted to marry her. And Ceres didn't know this was going down until after it went down, and she freaked the hell out. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse. I'm so sorry if that offended someone. Sorry. Okay, so anyway, she freaked out and was looking, searching high and low. How in the world can I get my daughter back? I can't believe that, the god of the underworld is like taking my daughter. Are you serious? And so she wept and she wailed, and like she refused to work, so she wasn't like producing any crops. She was, remember, she's the goddess of agriculture. She wasn't letting the crops grow, which means there were famines or whatever. Like people were suffering because now she's suffering. Is like, well, if mama's not happy, nobody's happy. And so that went on for a while until she was able to strike a deal, I think, with the king of the gods, whether it was Jupiter or Zeus, to convince Pluto / Hades, hey, can we at least share my daughter? Like maybe you can have her in the underworld 6 months out of the year, and then I can have her above ground for 6 months out of the year. Something like that went on. But anyway, this is all to point out that Ceres went. She did not give up on her daughter. Her daughter was like, she went to the underworld, so you kind of think, okay, she's dead to you, right? No. Ceres did not accept even death. Okay, and she prevailed. So again, this is like a mother's determination, isn't it? The fierce mother. So it could be that your person sees that in you, option 6. I don't know if you got kids or not, but they see some kind of fierceness about you, maybe, with regard to the people and or things that you love. You protect them at all costs. Okay, so let's move on, because this reading is super long. I'm already past 2 hours. Oh my goodness. So for option 6, what does their person find physically attractive about them? Okay, we've got clouds and crossroads. Okay, so I feel again like the nurturing motherly energy actually has an embodiment physically here. Like there's something perhaps abundant about you. You might be full figured, fuller figured, at least maybe you're not skinny mini, and your person likes it. It's more to love if that is the case. We may have some slim people though here. In such case, you must have something to hold on to, so to speak, quote unquote, that this person finds attractive. Yeah. So now I don't know if you have any kind of body scaping decoration type stuff going on, like tattoos or piercings, or maybe it's some kind of way that, like I said, body scaping, like some way that you cut or trim your hair wherever you have hair. And this would only apply if they knew about it, of course, but they find it attractive, whatever it is that applies to you here. They find that physically attractive. Okay. So what does this person find emotionally attractive about option 6? Okay, we got the 5 of discs and the Hermit. Okay, it looks like they like that, or find it attractive that you I lost my train of thought. Let me find it again. I've been going for over 2 hours, y'all. No breaks, no cuts. This is not edited. What you see is what happened. I don't do that kind of stuff to my videos, so I mean, you know, tweaking. They find it emotionally attractive, apparently, that maybe the way that you handle burdens, you this is interesting because it reminds me of a previous pile. So hello there, if you've come from piles 1 through 4, or 1 through 5 actually. That's right? Yes. Okay. Maybe you chose an earlier pile and this one, but if you didn't, maybe you could go back and see which one I'm talking about. I don't remember which one now it was, but there's another one where the person was, you know, emotionally, I think there was an emotional maturity in being able to handle problems and issues in this kind of way. It might have been option 1. It was either option 1 or option 2. If you were at all attracted to one or both of those, you go back and see. Or, yeah, it was one of them, actually, not both of them. Probably option 1, maybe. Anyway, yeah, the way that you handle the stresses in life, it looks like this person finds it attractive. They find it attractive that you even care about the things that you care about, you know, practical things that you care about. Perhaps things that a lot of people don't care about, but they appreciate it. Now, I don't know if it's in the relationship realm where this is coming through, this concern about practical matters, though that would make some sense, because some people just, you know, oh, well, this person's attractive, and oh, I'm gonna spend time with him, oh, we'll see where it goes, and it doesn't look like you have that kind of thing going on here. Option 6, you are more, you're more careful and deliberate in the choices that you make. Emotionally speaking, I think you consider the risks, you know, and you understand what you can afford to lose should your investment not pay off. And so you do not invest more than you can afford to lose. It's like people who go to the casino, and they may be there actually, probably not even because they're gambling types, but maybe they're there with other people who just wanted to go, and so they say, oh, okay, I'll go, and oh, okay, you know, I'll take X amount of dollars, and I'll put that in, and I'll play the slots or whatever, and then I'm going to stop, right? And the person goes in, and they play with whatever little money they said they would put in, and then they make 3 times as much as they put in, but they still stop, just like they said they would, because they didn't come to, you know, be a gambler. You know, so you're not a gambler, emotionally speaking, and they find that attractive. That maybe they've encountered a lot of people who just don't take the time or don't have the personal discipline to make more careful and calculated choices. But you do, and they like that, or I should say they find it attractive. Okay, so what about mentally? What does this person find mentally attractive about option 6? Okay, we've got the garden. I think that's the garden card. Yeah, it is. Okay. And the healer. Okay, I'm happy to see that card show up because it's reminding me of the Ceres mothering energy that we were talking about. You see how this woman here has got her arms open wide, very welcoming, you know. And so, yeah, this is a very warm and inviting type of energy, and it is, um, well, we're talking about what's mentally attractive to them. So it looks like they see that you are someone who's very welcoming. That's your mentality. You know, like, oh, I want to help. I want to nurture. I want to help people feel better. Um, I want to recognize what they're going through and things of that nature. They find this highly attractive. You know, your warmth. And it's interesting because I asked about mentally, but it seems that that is how you think. You know, you think in terms of helping others, perhaps moving towards others. All right, let's see what else. So, how does this person, or what does this person find attractive about you spiritually? Okay, we have the bat. What? I'm sorry, I keep fiddling with this. And wisdom. I'm fiddling with it, but it's still crooked. I'm making it more crooked. It's because my camera is crooked, so it's not in line with my table, and so I should look at the camera and make sure I'm getting things straight. Okay, anyway, option 6. What do they find spiritually attractive about you? And this is at the soul level, you know, in terms of their higher self, what their higher self recognizes in you. What they find attractive is that you have the wisdom to be able to get what you need, but also let go of what you don't. I guess that goes along with what I was just talking about with regard to not investing more than you can afford to lose, and having that kind of, you know, it's a practical way of approaching life, and they find that very attractive. All right, let's see what. So, what is on their mind about you at this time? Option 6. The person you came to this reading for. What is on their mind currently about you? Let me see. Let's see. Okay. It says, I've kept this single faith. I have but one belief. I still love you. I still want you. This is from 1,000 Years by Sting. Let me move this down. Okay, so I guess maybe there's some people here watching where you are in some kind of separation from this person. Or at least, I mean, that's the tone of this statement here from the song. Now, that doesn't have to be the case. It could be simply that this person is currently in your life, and they simply are thinking about how much they love you and want you. And hey, that's a great thing to come out in a reading about what they find attractive about you, that they love you and want you. That's what they find attractive, is their love for you and their desire for you. Like that, I guess it's just kind of self-evident to them, you know. Okay. So yeah, I'll just let that stand. See if there's, let's just get a couple more cards before we close this out. What else should option 6 know about what this person finds attractive about them? We have L non-GMO and L global warming. This is interesting. So are you into causes of some sort? Are you an environmentalist? Do you care about, as they say, global warming? I guess they don't call it that anymore, do they? This deck perhaps should be updated, even though I think they did update it and got another one, and I just need to buy it. But anyway, now they call that climate change, right? So anyway, maybe what this person finds attractive about you is that you care about the earth. And we do have Ceres here, and I talked about Ceres being the goddess of agriculture, and we're talking about the, you know, nurturing quality, and certainly farming involves tending to the soil and tending to crops and all that kind of stuff. So there is, again, this kind of concern. It could be just a concern about food. Is it the food quality? Is that what you are into, option 6? Because if so, this person finds it attractive about you. Also, I'm drawn here to the fact that the sun has a face, and it's a pretty face. A pretty face with, you know, very regular features, a cute little button nose, and, you know, curvaceous lips. So it could be that this person wants to draw attention to the fact that they find your face beautiful. Okay, since I don't think we really talked about that in the earlier segment. So yes, they find you have a face that they find attractive. And also your shape. We were talking about having more to love. Even if you don't have, like, well, you probably got, if you're a female, you got something to hold on to, okay? And they like that, as I said. And so it could be that your shape in particular, though, they like the bottom half of your body. Huh? Maybe this is about. Go back and did I say go back and look at option 1? I think it was option 1, Chiron. Anyway, only if you felt drawn to it. So yeah, that is what they find attractive about you, option 6. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, let me take note of the time. All right, hello there, option 7. This will be your reading. So if you chose Uranus or the cute little unicorn there, this is your reading, and we'll be answering the question, what do they find attractive about you? So with Uranus, you're different. And this is from their perspective, by the way. So, you know, you may want to argue, no, I'm not different. I'm boring and average. Well, this person does not see you as being boring or average. They see you as being something special. I don't know if you've read in grade school the book called Charlotte's Web. I think it was by E.B. White. I don't know if they still require that in schools these days. Maybe dating myself here. But in that book, there was a spider who made friends with a pig. The spider's name, I think Charlotte was the spider. And Charlotte apparently lived in the same barn or structure that the pig was living in. For some reason I want to say the pig's name was Wilbur, but I'm not sure about that. Anyway, what happened in the book, I just remember this one particular thing. It's probably the only thing I remember about the book. Is that Charlotte decided to make a beautiful web that was going to honor her friend, the pig. And so she worked hard and made a web that spelled out the words, some pig, which is to say, my friend is some pig. He's not just an ordinary pig. He is special. Extraordinary, even. And so, option 7, that's how your person is seeing you, and they find it very attractive. There's a song. Let me note it. I can't remember who sings it. I have to look it up, but I'll link it in the description for you. It's called She's Strange. It goes something like, she's strange, and I like it. So, yeah, your person maybe thinks you're different, but they really like it. It's very attractive to them. Yes. Okay, I think I'll move on now. So let's see. For option 7, what does their person find physically attractive about them? We have the birds, and we have the sun. Okay, option 7. Your person finds your, oh, this is interesting, finds your arms attractive? The arm and shoulder region. This is if you're male or female. Maybe your person's into arms. I guess everybody's got something. So, hey, you know, arms, they can be nice, you know. Certainly, yeah, they can be nice. Maybe you've got nice arms. To them you do. Apparently they find it physically attractive. I want to say too, I think the throat. So that whole region there, like the arms, the throat, and you know, like the what's it called, collarbone area, shoulders. Yeah, they find that very attractive. Don't know if you've been showing that off or what. I mean, you know, here where I live, we're coming off of the summer, so maybe you've been sporting some clothing that, you know, lets people see that area of your body, and your person thinks it's hot. Okay, so yes, there's that, and I think they like your hair. I think your hair is attractive. Could be long. Doesn't have to be. There's something about it that they find attractive. So, okay. So emotionally, what does this person find emotionally attractive about option 7? We've got the Knight of Discs and the Ten of Wands. Okay, so this person likes that you are not afraid to say no. You're not afraid to opt out or even nope out. I think that's what the young people say, right? You know, you have enough selfhood, you say self-knowledge, self-respect, to just not get roped into things, you know, and not get caught up in things just because somebody else, you know, asked you to, or is kind of implying or trying to get you involved in things. So you have healthy boundaries, and this person finds that attractive. Okay, what about mentally? What does this person find mentally attractive about you? Option 7. Okay, we have the ring and the fox. They like that you. It's interesting because I'm talking about, your Uranus dominated somehow. I should have called out the astrological sign. You might be in Aquarius. You don't have to be. You could have, Aquarius moon or Aquarius rising. You could have a lot of planets in the 11th. You could just have Uranus aspecting a lot of things in your chart. Some kind of Uranian energy seems to be here. So you might have something like that going on in your own astrology. You don't have to, but I would guess it's very possible. Or you got a prominent Uranus, you got like Uranus on the midheaven or Uranus conjunct descendant or something like that. But anyway, so yeah, we were talking about how you got the healthy boundaries. You're okay with saying no. You're very comfortable with that, and yet this person sees that you are a dedicated and committed type of person, like to what you feel you really want. You're willing to work hard for it. You're willing to sacrifice for it. And this is a mentality of saying, I'm just not going to be caught up in petty things or things that don't matter. Instead, I'm going to, pour my mental energy into the things that do matter and work on the things that I do want to accomplish, that I want to accomplish, not that someone else wants me to focus on. They like that. They like this independence. Option 7. So let's see. Spiritually, what does this person find attractive about you? Option 7. Okay, we've got misfortune and heritage. Okay, so by referring to what they find attractive about you spiritually, I'm talking about what their higher self recognizes in you at the soul level that is attractive to them. And this could be hearkening back to some previous lifetimes, if you believe in that. Wherein maybe you faced a lot of difficulties and struggles, just at a material level, just getting by, and yet you still have this attitude now of not doing things out of a sense of necessity or out of a sense of pleasing others, or because other people say that's what you're supposed to do. You're being Uranian and walking to the beat of your own drum. And this is despite coming maybe out of these past lives in which, it was maybe a hand-to-mouth type of existence. You have maintained a certain freedom mentally, and I guess maybe spiritually, since that's what we're talking about here, that they're perceiving. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well. It could also be that in the current lifetime that you also face difficulties, misfortunes, or you have to work really hard to get by somehow. But they see this kind of as being part of your spiritual heritage, you know, like, well, that's where you come from and that's where you are still, but you're working through it and past it, and it isn't affecting you in a way to like hold you back or hold you down. You still have this freedom, like despite the restrictions, you still are free. That's interesting, option 7. So let's see, what is on your person's mind about you at this time? What's on their mind about you currently? Option 7. Let's see. Maybe we should take it slow. This is from the song Ordinary People by John Legend. Now this could have something to do with what I was just talking about here with facing difficulties. I mean, you know, everybody's got something. It is the human condition, you know, and this song kind of acknowledges that, and, you know, points out that we can work and we can make it if we work. We don't have to jump into anything overnight or take the fast track to whatever destination maybe society expects you to reach within X amount of years or something. This person is not only content with taking it slow with you, but actually prefers it. Not only because they see, you know, your own, what you yourself already deal with, but also whatever they deal with. And then, you know, like kind of bringing the two lives together, they understand that that takes time and patience and work. Okay. So is there anything else? What else? Any parting words here regarding what this person finds attractive about option 7? Okay, we have L makeup tutorial, and we have L internship. Okay. I don't know if there's something that you're working on, but if you are trying to better yourself with education or training or some other type of activity, this person finds that attractive. That, again, you see a goal or you see something you want to achieve, and you set that as a goal, and then you work methodically towards it. We have a lot of cards here that are kind of referencing that. In fact, you know, there's a kind of an earth energy that comes through here. So that's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, in addition to our Aquarian energy. So you might have a kind of a Aquarius / Capricorn thing going on. You know, you might have some personal planets in both Aquarius and Capricorn, or placements or something. But anyway, this person finds that work ethic, you know, the ability to plan long range, they find that attractive about you. They like that you have goals, and it's not just a dream. You're actually working towards it, doing something towards it. And with the L makeup tutorial, I don't know, I mean, if you're female, maybe you wear makeup. They like your makeup, if that is the case. Okay, so I think I'm going to end it here. I'm sorry, I'm having a throat issue. I'm going to get something to drink. I have been talking for 2 hours and 34 minutes, though. Did I say thank you for joining me? Sorry about that. Thank you, option 7. Didn't mean to be so abrupt with my ending. All right, hello, option 8. If you chose this card, Pluto, or this object, I think it's, what do they call it, maracas? A maraca, is that right? I've never heard of it in the singular. But anyway, this is your reading. And the question, again, we're answering today is, what do they find attractive about you? So the fact that you chose Pluto is giving me the sense that they find your Pluto mentality or way attractive. And I should explain, Pluto in astrology represents power. It represents the key word is like transformation, but it's about powerful energies, powerful emotional drives. In fact, the biological imperatives, the seeking out of what we need in order to survive, and then securing our survival. And so if we have to fight or even kill for that, this is the Pluto energy. It's life or death, okay? It's really intense, and it can be extreme. You can go to extremes. And so if you got any kind of qualities like this, being very intense, being, dare I say, controlling, or even, like going to great lengths, like, maybe, I don't know, I'll call you strategic, right? They like these qualities. They like the intensity. You might also be secretive. And by the way, Pluto rules the astrological sign of Scorpio. So hello, Scorpios. If you came here and you chose Pluto, then you are in the right place. But you may not be a Scorpio. You might have other planets in that sign, or have a packed 8th house. There's a lot of people like that, especially if you are watching a tarot card reading on YouTube. I personally have a lot of Pluto in my charts. Like, really, I'm not a Scorpio or anything, but Pluto is taking center stage, shall we say. So you might have something going on like that too. Maybe you don't fit the other things I said, but anyhow, this is about what your person finds attractive about you. So yeah, they find that Pluto pull attractive, and it is, by the way, this energy is like, it can be dark, but it's also sexy. It's the kind of thing where, like, I'm attracted, but I'm also scared. It's that kind of on the edge kind of energy. So maybe your person is attracted, but also kind of scared. And it could be kind of like, maybe they just have a healthy respect for, a healthy respect for your boundaries, because they don't want to cross the line with you and feel your wrath, because they sense, or maybe know, that you might go to great lengths to hit back. If not physically, then, mentally or emotionally, But anyway, hope you got a kind of picture now of what we're dealing with here as to the overarching energy, and why, or what I should say, what this person finds attractive about you. Option 8. So what do they find physically attractive about you? I mean, we already talked about the Pluto energy is just attractive by itself, but let's see if we can get some details on the physicality that they find specifically attractive. Let's see. Okay, we have the Rider, and we have the Child. Okay. So they find the way you walk attractive. They probably find your legs attractive. I don't know if this is a leg person. There's people who like legs in particular, but they like your legs. Your legs are sexy. Like I said, the way you move, the way you walk, there's something sexy about it to them. And for some of you, because I'm assuming it's not all of you, but they might like your height. You know, they might like that you are not tall. There was a reading where they liked that you were tall, perhaps. I don't know which one that was now. I'm sorry, I don't remember. But anyway, you don't have to be short. But being short or petite, if that is you, they like that. They find that attractive. It could be that you just have a youthful look about you, like you look younger than your age, and they find that attractive. I mean, I guess because youth is attractive, isn't it? Okay. Unless you're like 16 and then they think you look like you're 12. That is probably a YouTube strike to my channel if I try to talk about that, and I am not condoning that, and I hope that's not the case here. We're talking about adults, okay? Everybody who's an adult looking like an adult, just to be clear. Okay, so anyway, moving on. What do they find emotionally attractive about you? Okay, we have the Nine of Cups. And we have the World. Okay, they find it attractive that you know what you want and you go for it. You know, this is not somebody who sits around hoping and dreaming and wishing and, I don't know, sitting at home in a dark room with no windows waiting for all they ever dreamed of to, you know, fall out of the sky through the ceiling into their lap at all. Like I said, the Pluto energy is driven. You know, the Pluto energy, it tends to create scenarios in which, even if it's not life or death, like they go at it with great gusto. You know, so that's you. They like that. They like we already talked about the intensity. They like the emotional intensity that you have. They like that you are clear about what you want and that you go for what you want and you're unapologetic about what you want. And yeah, they find it attractive that not only do you go for what you want, but you get it. Okay. No, I didn't want to do that next. Let's do this next. Okay, trying to do all these readings in the same orderly fashion. So what does this person find mentally attractive about option 8? Okay, we have the Ship. And we have the Mask. Okay, I don't know whether are you the type of person who, I was gonna say, are you a ghoster? It's okay, just for this reading, okay? When you decide it's time to go, you just go, right? Like you have that attitude, like I could leave at any moment, or you know, like they understand that. They understand that, you know, you might just drop out of the scene without a word. That's the way that you think. Like you're not wedded to maybe the types of social niceties, like, you know, the conventional things to say, oh, well, you know, this really isn't working out, so, or, you know, like that, I guess that's not really your way. And they find it attractive that, you know, if you're not interested anymore, well, that's it. You know, no reason to waste time or words. So they like that. They like that you keep things close to your chest, like you're, well, again, the Plutonian energy is secretive. I was talking about that. Like you, yeah, you're not always flapping your gums about what your plans are. You know, next thing anybody knows, you've done it. Boom, you know. So, well, yeah, they like this. They like that. Option 8, it's attractive to them. So, what is spiritually attractive about you to this person? Let's see. Okay, we've got result. And interference. I gotta look that word up and see what that means in English. What the actual translation is. This card for me is about interference. This is interesting. I wouldn't have expected this in a spiritual context, but it seems that they find it attractive that we're talking about how you go for what you want and you don't really care about the, social niceties or whatever. And here we got kind of a similar thing. Again, you go for what you want and you get it, even if it means like having to knock somebody else off the perch. You want to talk to that blue bird on the right and you're the colorful green bird up there in the sky. I mean, like, you don't care about that. You don't care about that third party right there. You don't care. That's surprising because the spiritual question was supposed to be about the higher self and the soul level. So they recognize you. They see you. They see you as this kind of person. You're kind of ruthless. Option 8. But they like it. All right, let's see, what does this person, what is on this person's mind about you at this time? Option 8. Let's see, what's on their mind about you at this time? I almost shudder to try and see. Let's see. Okay. Okay, it says, I'm waiting for the right moment to call so I can thank you for all the tender love you've given to me. This is from the song Tender Love by Force MDs. Option 8, I wasn't expecting that. Though I will say, Pluto is, the Pluto energy is passionate. And this person feels like maybe you've been passionate towards them. And I don't know if there's been, physical intimacy between the two of you. But if there has been, they felt really loved. Whatever you did, whatever you put on them. Option 8. It was something special to them. If you haven't been physically intimate with them, then there's some other way in which you've maybe shown a kind of like fierce love or devotion or care about them. Maybe you've defended them even against someone or something. And yeah, they are thinking about thanking you for that, I guess, like, explicitly. Maybe they haven't really, they feel about it. But yeah, they're thankful. Okay. That kind of, I don't know, that gave a different window in onto you, option 8. The tender side. Still fierce, but I'm sure it's still fierce, but tender. Okay. So, is there anything else? What else should option 8 know about about what their person finds attractive about them? Okay, we've got L Hipster and La Bomber Jacket. Okay. All right. Look at that. Do you see that? On the back of the jacket, what is that? Is that a scorpion? The symbol of Scorpio? So, I guess I should just say Scorpio again, because it's there, maybe wants us to talk about it. The person likes your scorpionic ways, finds them attractive. Also, this person thinks you're cool. I don't know if it's the way you dress or just kind of your overall thing, but I think, yeah, probably the way you dress. The way you dress is to them attractive. There's something cool about it to them. They think it's cool. But again, there's kind of this devil may care, or what do they say on the social media? What is it? IDGAF. There's an element of that here too, I think. But yeah, they find that attractive in you, option 8. So let's conclude your reading. Thank you very much for joining me, option 8. Okay, hello there. Option 9, last but certainly not least. If you chose this card, Neptune, and or this cute little makeup compact, this will be your reading. We are answering the question, what do they find attractive about you? So the fact that you chose Neptune, it gives Pisces energy. So you can be a Pisces, or you don't have to be, but you might have, a prominent Pisces in your astrological chart. You might have a lot of planets in the 12th house. You might have, moon in Pisces, or the ascendant in Pisces, or something like that, something which connects you to this energy here, because this is what the person finds attractive about you. The Neptunian energy is soft and dreamy and idealistic, and it's concerned about higher things. It's actually not even concerned too much about the things of this world, but the otherworldly is what this energy is about. So you could be a spiritual person, which doesn't necessarily mean that you're religious, but you probably think about the big questions of life. And this person finds all of that, all those types of qualities, very attractive. You may be artistically or creatively talented. You may do something in those areas. If you do, the person finds that attractive. Also here, you chose the makeup compact, so it could be that specifically, I wonder if you are an actor or an actress, or in, the performing arts in some kind of way, on stage or behind the scenes, involved in film or film production, or again, any kind of aspiration towards that, that the person knows about. They find that attractive. Yeah, the word ghosts just came to me. I don't know if you're into the paranormal, but they find that interesting and also attractive, if that's the case. So that's just to give us a starting off point, jumping off point. So let's see now, what does this person find physically attractive about you? Option 9. Okay, we have the dog, and we have the heart. Okay, so if you are female, this person is physically very attracted to what they used to refer to as T and A. I can't say probably what that refers to. If you've never heard that expression, I can't say what it refers to, but I can explain that what I'm saying here is that they are they find your chest area attractive. Okay, it's very shapely and generous, perhaps, and they find your rear end attractive. As I said, T and A. So If you're male, they may also find your chest attractive. I don't know if they ever saw you, shirtless, but maybe they can tell through your clothing somehow that you've got a nice physique going on under the shirt, perhaps if they haven't seen more. And also your backside. Yes, they like that. They think you look fit. Okay, so let's now look at what they find attractive about you emotionally. So what does this person find attractive about option 9 emotionally? We've got the High Priestess. We've got also the 7 of Wands. Okay, this person sees you as really striving, I think, for wisdom and understanding, but it's not through, I'd say the conventional means. Okay, it's through esoteric means, maybe even occult means, spiritual means. They like that you are able to sense things and kind of have this inner knowing that you rely on. It could be that, in fact, you have some kind of psychic ability. That would go with the Neptune energy. But you got some kind of insight into things that goes beyond, the physical, or beyond what can be perceived by the 5 senses. And they see that it could be that because of that sensitivity in you, it can be difficult at times for you to decompress or, get grounded or stay calm, or, energetically protect yourself from, we'll say, stuff that isn't yours, psychically speaking. So it looks like they kind of have some sense of that struggle if you have that issue. Or it could be that, they see you as somebody striving for greater knowledge and putting in the effort to gain that greater knowledge, again, through what I call the non-conventional means. And they find that very attractive. So I guess your interest in these things, or your abilities here, whether they're natural or cultivated or both, they find that attractive. They find this kind of sensitivity that you have. They find that attractive. They also find it attractive, though, that it looks like, you're not all soft and, fuzzy. You got a backbone. You've got a fight in you, if you need to fight. So they like that. I think there's boundaries here. You've got emotional boundaries, even though, again, because of maybe some psychic ability or in more greater than average intuition, you might struggle, as I said, to kind of decompress and kind of separate yourself from energies that aren't yours. Yeah, to the extent that they see that, they find all of that attractive about you. Okay. Let's see. So what do they find mentally attractive about option 9? Okay, we have the mouse, even though this really is supposed to be the mice, but there's only one mouse on this card, so I find it awkward to call it to the mice. But anyway, I still love this deck though. And this is the scales. Okay, so I think mentally here, the emotional concerns we were talking about kind of spill over into the mental realm and may be a cause for some anxiety in you at times. Um, but it looks like you're able to balance it out. Like again, this kind of fight for equilibrium that I was referring to before, but didn't actually explain in such succinct terms until now, is what's coming through here when we ask about what they like about you mentally. So it seems to recognize this. I don't know if you deal with anxiety generally, um, or something to that effect, but they see that you do deal with it, like you handle it. You maybe have learned techniques or something, or you're getting whatever help, assistance that you might need from other sources, from other people, from therapy or what have you, self-help, spiritual grounding techniques. I don't know, but anyway, they like that you're able to do this. They like that you're taking care of yourself in this way. Um, they like that you have that mentality. It's a healthy one. So let's see. What do they find attractive about you spiritually? Okay, so we have restriction. I think that's what it means though. That's not what the word means in translation, but that's what the card means. And we have treachery. I gotta learn what these words, like the actual English translation, but that's a topic for another time. Okay, so yes, what they find attractive about you spiritually. Okay, again, I think that there's this sense coming through of the. Oh, I should point out what I mean. What does their higher self perceive in you at a soul level that is attractive to them? And here again, I think putting up the boundaries that I was talking about earlier, negotiating these boundaries within yourself, is coming through here. They find that attractive. Like you don't let this other stuff overtake you. Somebody else's stuff is not being allowed to overtake you. You're not allowing it to overtake you. So they're seeing this at kind of at a spiritual level, that this is your this is just who you are, that you're just not going to be run all over, even in the spirit realm. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see if we can get a message from them. So what's on their mind about you at this time? Option 9. What is on their mind about you at this time? What is on their mind about you at this time? Okay, it says, others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars pointing me on my way into your loving arms. That is from Bless the Broken Road by Rascal Flatts. Will that fit in our space here? Let me see. Okay. Well, they feel very grateful for you. I mean, and they have this, higher understanding of maybe the things that happened in their life before you, and how those things maybe that failed, the people, the relationships, it kind of opened the space for someone like you to come in. Wow, that's really nice. Option 9. It says others who broke my heart. Almost there's a sense like it was worth it. In the end, now they can look back and they can see it was worth the heartbreak, because it meant that they were just on their way forward to you. And so there's kind of an implication that they expect that you will not break their heart. So I guess there's a feeling here of trust, safety, which of course is always very nice. Option 9. So let's just ask one more question here. Is there anything else? What else should option 9 know about what this person finds attractive about them? We have La Thigh Gap and El Troll. Okay, again, I'm getting the message about your backside. So that seems to be an emphasis here. After that beautiful high message. Now let's talk about your backside again. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay. So this person, yeah, they find your backside attractive, and we should emphasize that apparently here toward the end of your reading. Also, we talked about maybe how you look fit, like if you're a male, but maybe you look fit if you're a female too. I mean, you certainly are attractive to them, physically attractive. But there's something here about your thighs. So now we move on to another body part, and they just, we want to talk about the thighs. So, again, though, if you're male or female, I mean, this person, I guess, has noticed your thighs. They think your thighs are very attractive. Okay. So I'm going to end this big, gigantic reading here. I'm so happy that I finally got to the end. And I apologize if you feel, option 9, that your reading was short. I've been talking for 3 hours and 8 minutes, so I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, goodbye.